Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to your regular edition of Cricket Happenings. Well, today what we are going to look at in this particular cricket show, one is going to look at the Caribbean Premier League semi-final placings. This inaugural Caribbean Premier League 2013 has the semi-final placings have been decided with the last match which was happening yesterday between Jamaica Talabas and Trinidad Tobago Red Steel. We'll talk about that, with Jamaica winning that match with Chris Gayle putting up an all-round performance, and then we will look at the progress that the South Africa A and India A, in the sense India and South Africa today were into their second day, in the third day in fact. So third day in fact, India had 3 centuries, Pujara, Rohit Sharma and Suresh Rana, so all the experienced players getting century knocks. And then South Africa, well, they finished at 312 for 9 at close of play, with Shahbaz Nadeem, the left-arm spinner from India A team, bowling very well. And then we will look at the Australia. As you know, the T20 matches would be played between Australia and England after the once the one-day international series is over. And for the T20s, Michael Carberry, who is a very, very talented bloke. One saw him last time when he actually played against Bangladesh. So by the sheer performance of his in the French Live T20, he has been included in the England squad. So the England squad has been announced for the T20s against Australia, and we'll look at that. But first, what I'm going to do is we are going to start off with the Caribbean Premier League. As I said, the inaugural Caribbean Premier League, the semi-final placings were decided after the match between Jamaica Talabas and Trinidad and Tobago Red Steel ended at Sabina Park, Kingston in Jamaica yesterday, with Jamaica Talabas winning the match by 3 wickets. So what it did is it decided the semi-final spots. As you know, on 22nd of August is going to be the first semi-final, which is going to be played between the Guyana Amazon Warriors versus the Trinidad Tobago Red Steel at Port of Spain in Trinidad. And then the second semi-final will be between Jamaica Talabas versus the Barbados Tridents at Port of Spain. That's on 23rd of August. And then finally the D-Day arrives on. In fact, it's very surprising to see that after the semi-finals there's no break for the Caribbean Premier League, as the finals is on 24th of August 2013. Well, let's look at how the semi-final placing was decided yesterday as far as Jamaica Talabas were concerned, because Jamaica Talabas were playing against Red Steel, and that was the only game which was remaining to really decide the semi-final placings. Trinidad and Tobago were the ones who got first strike, and they didn't actually put up a good score on the board. They put up 133 for 8 of their 20 overs. With contributions, well, Kevin O'Brien was run out for 11, Adrian Barath making only 7. Adrian Barath, one has to say that much has been actually promised by Adrian Barath, much was expected, but Adrian Barath, I thought that in this Caribbean Premier League, he has really misfired. He has not played any much innings of note. Ross Taylor made 20 of 21 balls with 1-4, and they lost the Trinidad and Tobago lost two key wickets of Darren Bravo and Mahela Jayawardene, run out for 27 and 1 respectively, and that too, Darren Bravo was looking pretty good in that particular knock of his 27 of 29 balls. So he was gone, and then the captain Dwayne Bravo contributed 29 of 16 balls with 4 fours and 1, so a real cameo there. Puran was out for 10 of as many balls. You know, he's a very talented bat, young talented and a big hitter of the ball. And Kevon Cooper was not on 14 of as many balls. And Trinidad and Tobago, as I said, they finished on a very disappointing 133 for 8 of their 20 overs. As far as the bowling was concerned, Bernard had 1 for 20 of his full quota. Richardson 3 overs 1 for 20. Nikita Miller 4 overs 1 for 25. But Gayle got 2 wickets for 24 runs. And he picked up Ross Taylor and Dwayne Bravo's wicket, which were important wickets at that. And 1 over for 11 runs for Dewar, and Andre Russell 1 for 33. But let me tell you something. Trinidad and Tobago, even though they made 133, what they did best is they made the Jamaica Talabas really work for it. Because what happened was they lost their openers I mean, the openers were the only ones who really put up a very good show, in the sense they put up 66 on the board in only 7 overs, and thanks to that very aggressive batting, as we all know what Chris Gayle does, the captain of the Jamaica Tallawahs, making 51 of, it was absolutely vintage stuff, as 51 came off just 25 deliveries, 4 fours and 5 sixes, and Chadwick Walton was the other opener who also gave him tremendous company in making 28 of 35 balls with 2 fours and 1 6 before Gayle was out to the bowling of Dwayne Bravo, his opposite number, for 51. But after that, suddenly, once Chris Gayle's wicket was gone in 66, there was a real collapse as far as Jamaica Tallawahs were concerned, because they lost Bonner for 4, and then Andre Russell, promoted to the batting order, was run out for 6, and Chadwick Walton was out for 28, so that made the score 93 for 4. And then when Blackwood was out for 1, it made it 96 for 5, and then it required Carlton Bogg to be at the crease, but Danza Hyatt, who has already done some great work for Jamaica Tallawahs in this Caribbean Premier League, once again came to the fore, and he was the one who really stayed there, and it was the reason why that Jamaica Tallawahs won the match. If you look at this particular score, Jamaica Tallawahs making 134 for 7 of their 20 overs. So they took the whole 20 overs to actually win the game. It was thanks, as I said, the bowling was very good from the Trinidad Tobago bowlers. Badri 4 overs, none for 16, very economical. Cummins none for 28 was costly. Bravo 4 overs, 2 for 43 was costly, but picked up 2 wickets. Cooper 2 for 14 was economical as ever. Karia 1 for 23 and Kevin O'Brien 1 for 10. But as I said, Danza Hyatt was the one who really held it out there to make an unbeaten 25 of as many balls with 2 fours and 1s, even though he saw a lot of wickets going in front of him when Carlton Bogg and David Barnard also out cheaply. And finally, Danza Hyatt was there when Jamaica Tallawahs got to the victory target, 134 for 7, and they won the match. As that, Chris Gayle of Jamaica, for his all-round performance, was named man of the match, and this particular match decided the semi-final spots. In the sense, the semi-final placing, in the sense, I would say, the semi-final places, who would play against whom, which I already talked about. So that is as far as the Caribbean Premier League is concerned. So definitely coming to a climax now as far as the semi-finals and finals are concerned. Now let's look at the other match. Now this is the unofficial test match which is being played between India A and South Africa, and India A resumed at their overnight score of 281. They posted a mammoth total of 582 for 9 declared. That was a real mammoth total, with centuries coming in from all the experienced blokes in this India A team. Pujara, the captain, leading the way, 137 with 16 boundaries. Rohit Sharma making 119 with 14 fours and 2 sixes. Suresh Raina coming to the party, 135 with 14 fours and 3 sixes. And then contributions coming in from Pandey, who had 35 with 3 fours and 2 sixes. And at the end, we had the tail really wagging for for India A. That is something very good, because from the score, which was 500 when Mohammad Shami was out, Jaidev Unadkat and Shahbaz Nadeem put on an unbeaten 82-run partnership for the 10th wicket, with Unadkat getting an unbeaten 31 with 2 fours. Shahbaz Nadeem not out 46 of 50 balls with 3 fours, and that was the time the declaration was done by Cheteshwar Pujara, the Indian captain, with India's score reading 582 for 9 declared. The bowling figures: Wayne Parnell 3 for 93. The other person who shared those 3 wickets was J.P. Duminy, 19 over 7 maidens, 3 for 80. I thought he bowled pretty well there. And then 1 wicket apiece to Birch, Harmer, the off-spinner, and 1 to Dean Elgar. So that was the situation as far as South Africa were concerned. South Africa A were concerned. They replied at close of play at 312 for 9. The highest scorer being J.P. Duminy, 84 with 9 fours, and then they had 47 apiece coming in from Justin Ontong with 7 fours, and Tami Solakile, the wicket-keeper, making 47 with 6 fours. Other than that, the openers, Ron Hendricks was out for 10, Elgar departed for 11, Simon Harmer, promoted in the batting order, was out for 22 with one boundary. Rosu contributed a very elegant 57 with 8 fours and 2 6. Well, for India, they did a wonderful job. In fact, South Africa have another. They still trail by 270 runs to get to the target of 582. So their first target, as you know, tomorrow is going to be the last day of this because it's a 4-day fixture, and South Africa A would be hoping that they could at least avoid the follow-on, because what happens is they require 270 runs, so essentially they have to make 382 to avoid the follow-on. And on a last day pitch, one can see that probably Indian spinners are already holding sway. Shahbaz Nadeem in particular has done a wonderful job, and as I said, tomorrow is the last day. It's a 4-day match official test. Tomorrow is the 20th of August, where the match would be ending. And also looking at the way the Indian spinners have been bowling, especially Shahbaz Nadeem, 28 overs 5 minutes, 101 runs. Not Shahbaz Nadeem, I'm sorry. It was Pandey who took 16 overs 5 minutes, 40 runs and 4 wickets. 1 for 101 for Shahbaz Nadeem, 2 for 33 for Suresh Raina, and 1 wicket apiece to Inaugural and Mohammad Shami. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I think this is a match which is really heading, whether the only interest happens to be that whether South Africa A could actually avoid, and I mean they could avoid the follow-on tomorrow, and then see whether they can do something out of it. Well, as far as the other news which is coming in, this is coming in from England, that as you know, the T20 matches will be played between England and Australia once the one-day series is over, and that will be played on 29th. In fact, I'm extremely sorry. The first would be the 2020 fixtures after the Investec Test Ashes series is completed between England and Australia, which starts on 21st of August and ends on 25th of August. They would be getting a break of 3 days, and after that it would be T20 competition between England and Australia. There are going to be 2 T20s which are going to be played. One is going to be played on the 29th of August, one is going to be played on the 31st of August. And as far as England are concerned, England have named their squad, as I said in my preview, I mean when I started the cricket report, that Michael Carberry, who has been a real talent, as you know, but he did well against Bangladesh. That's the last time one saw him. He played in a, if I'm not wrong, he played one in a test match in Chittagong there. So that person is, as you know, he's one of those very good talents from the English shores. And well, he would be playing tomorrow. In the sense, he has been selected in the English team for this T20 competition, and especially he has done a wonderful job in the current French Live T20 competition with Northamptonshire won the other day. He did a wonderful job. He averages 55.77, so he has been included. But there is probably one was thinking that the Peter Willey, the former the cricket umpire Peter Willey's son, David Willey, who would have got a look in, especially considering that he's an all-rounder and he's just 23 years of age. He also did a wonderful job. He actually smashed the fastest half century of the season and then took a hat-trick, which according to me was absolutely great stuff, and that was what enabled Northamptonshire to actually lift the cup after 21 years. But it was a surprise to see that David Willey was not given the nod. In fact, they went for Michael Carberry to strengthen the batting. Well, Stuart Broad, so Stuart Broad, as you know, he's the captain of this England squad. He has been a specialist T20 captain for England. Ravi Bopara, then they have Danny Briggs, the spinner, Josh Butler. There are all some exciting players there. Michael Carberry, Jay Dernbash, Stephen Fenn gets his place. Alex Hales, another very exciting prospect for England from Nottinghamshire. Michael Lumb also. So Michael Lumb is still getting an opportunity. He's the person who is not really a regular in the T20 competition, but Michael Lumb definitely gets another opportunity here. Ian Morgan, who is, as you know, is a very good T20 specialist player. Boyd Rankin of Warwickshire, James Treadwell, and Luke Wright, another very hard-hitting batsman, an all-rounder rather. Well, so I think so that is the team composition as far as England are concerned for the 2 T20s against Australia. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I don't have anything else to add for today as far as this Cricket Happening show is concerned. I hope you, dear friends and subscribers, as usual, enjoyed this cricket show of mine. That's it from me, your host Ram, as far as Cricket Happenings stands for today. but tomorrow will be another cricket happening show from your host Ram. Until then, it's goodbye.